Good morning. We'll try to draw everyone else in by singing, so if you'll join me.
Summoned by the God who made us rich in our diversity, gathered in the name of Jesus, richer still in unity. Let us bring the gifts that differ and in splendid varied ways, sing a new church into being, one in faith and love and praise. Radiant risen from the water, robed in holiness and light. Every person in God's image, every person God's delight. Let us bring the gifts that differ and in splendid varied ways, sing a new church into being, one in faith and love and praise. Trust the goodness of creation, trust the Spirit strong within. Dare to dream the vision promised, sprung from seed of what has been. Let us bring the gifts that differ and in splendid varied ways, sing a new church into being, one in faith and love and praise. Bring the hopes of every nation, bring the art of every race. Weave a song of peace and justice, let it sound through time and space. Let us bring the gifts that differ and in splendid varied ways, sing a new church into being, one in faith and love and praise. Draw together at one table all the human family. Shape a circle ever wider and a people ever free. Let us bring the gifts that differ and in splendid varied ways, sing a new church into being, one in faith and love and praise.
Well, good morning, all. It's good to have this many musicians on stage. I think we have, 4 on stage and 2 at the piano. I don't know if you can tell, but baby Cal is in the baby Bjorn helping with the piano. So welcome back to the piano, Erica. We're glad to have you accompanying again. Whew. Well, for some of this is either the end of a long week or the beginning of a new week. For those of us who attended the convention in Greensboro, North Carolina, all this past week, yesterday was a day of traveling home. And so we're grateful to have had that time to spend with other Anabaptists in a setting that you had to be there. It was wonderful. And hopefully you'll hear some of that today from our youth, of their experience, see some pictures of what was fun, what was meaningful. Today we wrap up our Becoming the Body series with a focus on the fruit that we bear. Do we feel like we're becoming the body, the end of this 4 weeks? Galatians 5 is where our passage today comes from, and it gives us a list love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. But these aren't character traits to aspire to. They're relational practices, things that we do, things that we grow into, and sometimes things that surprise us by already taking root. So a few of our youth will share reflections from their time at Mennonite, what challenged them, and maybe what they want to carry home. Then Jan Lehman will reflect on her time with Mennonite Disaster Service in Selma, Alabama during the month of May, and those gifts of tension and cross-cultural service. Together, these stories help us reflect on the fruit that God cultivates in us through presence and humility and shared labor. We're also continuing our visual response with the tree in the back. So today you will find apples glued in your bulletin. It took me a hot minute to get it separated from the paper. It's kind of got that gummy thing on it, like sometimes you get in your mailings. So if you're careful, you'll be able to get that off and use that to pop on the tree. I hope that you will add your piece of fruit with a word or a phrase that names a fruit of the Spirit that you long to see more of, either in yourself or in this church or in the world. By the end of the service, our tree will be bursting with both intention and hope. And I will leave that up till the end of the summer, I think. We've just worked too hard on it, and there's a lot to read there. If you have any announcements to bring this morning, I invite you to come forward to the microphone. If you need a microphone brought to you, please raise your hand.
Good morning. I just want to let the ladies of the prayer group on Tuesday that we're not having prayer group this week until the next one.
On Tuesday evening, for those of us who are part of coordinating council, we are meeting on Tuesday evening, and there will be a meal cookout at our house at 6 o'clock, followed by the meeting at 6:30. So you know who you are to be on coordinating council. So please come, and if you have an extra lawn chair to bring along, that would be helpful. Thank you.
This Wednesday is the third Wednesday of the month, which means the community meal. So bring lots of food and come, and we'll see you there. Thank you. 6 o'clock.
Well, now let's take a breath. Let's settle in. Let your roots go deep and open your heart to the Spirit already moving in this space. For the call to worship this morning, we won't do so much of a back and forth, but we will speak in turn, beginning with you. We come with love to give, and with love we're still yearning to receive. We come with joy and with ache, with calm and with worry. We come bearing fruit we can name, and fruit still forming within us. We come as we are, trusting that God will meet us here. God, be the strength to now uphold us. Be the prayer that shapes our breath. Be the love that searches and keeps us rooted, growing, surrounded, and together. Come, Holy Spirit, grow in us what we cannot grow alone. O Cristo, rodeanos. O Christ, surround us.
God be the love to search and keep me. God be the prayer to move my voice. God be the strength to now uphold me. Oh, Christ, surround me. Oh, Christ, surround me. Find to myself the name of holy, great cloud of witnesses enfold. Prophets, apostles, angels witness. Oh, Christ, surround me. Oh, Christ, surround me. Brightness of sun and glow in moonlight, flashing of lightning, strength of wind, depth of the sea to soil of planet. Oh, Christ, surround me. Oh, Christ, surround me. Walking behind to hem my journey, going ahead to light my way, and from beneath, above, and always, oh, Christ, surround me. Oh, Christ, surround me. Christ in the eye of all who see me, Christ in the ear that hears my voice, Christ in the hearts of all who know me. Oh, Christ, surround me. Oh, Christ, surround me. Come, let us go to a place that is pure, to learn about love and wipe away tears, to melt cords of steel and hearts made of stone, set prisoners free and strangers a home. So come, come as you are. Oh, come near and far. Oh, come, salvation will taste as we climb the mountain of God. From each corner and end of the earth, we'll gather together to sing of your worth. The blind who can see and weary who rest, good news for the poor, freedom for the oppressed. So come, come as you are. Oh, come near and far. Oh, come, salvation will taste as we climb the mountain of God. New life awaits for all who believe, all who love mercy, do justice, walk humbly with Christ as our guide. United we'll be, living the kingdom secure in God's peace. So come, come as you are. Oh, come from near and far. Oh, come, salvation will taste as we climb the mountain of God.
I invite the ushers forward. And a note about the music that we're singing today. This all came from the morning hymn sings at convention. They replaced morning worship services with hymn sings, and the room was standing room only every morning. There were more than 500 people each morning at these hymn sings. And as the suggestions came in for the songs, like the ones we're singing this morning, they said more than 90% of those were requests from people under 20. So as we trust in God's work among us and trust in the quiet, everyday ways that we bear fruit through collecting coins for MCC, through stories shared from Selma and Menocon, through the presents we offer each other again and again. We give not to earn love, but to respond to it. We give because generosity is one of the fruits that we're growing. So during the music, I invite the children to come and collect coins for Mennonite Central Committee and then head to Children's Church. But let's bless this time with prayer. God, who grows good fruit in unlikely places, bless these gifts and the hands that give them. Let them become nourishment for those who hunger, seeds of justice in places that feel barren, and signs of your spirit still moving among us. May the coins in small hands and the bills in envelopes become offerings of love woven into your great work of healing and hope. Amen.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worships your holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worships your holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name. You're rich in love and you're slow to anger. Your name is great and your heart is kind. For all your goodness I will keep on singing. 10,000 reasons for my heart to find. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worships your holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name. Worship your holy name. I'll worship your holy name.
Good morning. Wow, what a busy, like Becky said, 5 days at convention. Invite the youth to come to the front as well and line up. I'll be giving a quick recap. I'll try to make it as fast as I can of kind of what we did at convention during these last 4 days. You'll see some photos up here as well. But we'll kind of divide it into 3 parts. 1, my recap. 2, the questions that Pastor Becky posed to the MYF to give some feedback on what they experienced at convention. And then lastly, we'll end with give me a second here. With like a dramatic reading of the fruit we bear, a reading of Galatians 5:13-26. So obviously day 1 was a nice 12-hour drive. Left bright and early at 3 in the morning. We got there around 3 or 4, and then we listened to our first speaker, who was Rachel Rangenberg Miller, who's actually a Goshen College graduate, so somebody in our backyard. And she kind of started us off with, what does it truly mean to follow Jesus, which was the theme of convention this year. How do we respond, not just in belief, but in action, to bring hope and justice to our communities? Sorry, Aaron, I'll try to slow down here. Day 2, like Becky said, we had a hymn sing, which was phenomenal. Some of those songs gave us goosebumps as we were listening and enjoying. Asia is a very talented singer. Me, not so much, so I did a lot more listening. But then we dove right into our first seminar, which was Would Jesus Go to College? Which was very interesting conversations. We talked about good and bad reasons to go to college. They discussed steps to take if you did want to go to college. My personal opinion was, I think Jesus would go to college, because reflecting on my experience as a first-generation Mexican American going to college, I think it would have provided Jesus a good opportunity to lead and serve, and provide someone like myself some guidance that maybe I didn't have at that time. But MYF members, parents, talk to your MYF kids and see what their thoughts are. Members of the church, feel free to do the same. Seminar 2 was Arms to Art, collage making with recycled gun cases. I think you might see some photos here. Rudy and Jordan did like a chicken nugget theme, and which was awesome. And then Jenny and Christina did like a home with a nice decoration of birds flying. Really cool, but really what it taught us was, there's so many ways to protest without violence. And one of those is taking something like gun materials and turning them into art. And I don't remember the name of the organization, but there is one that they take actual guns and they make instruments with those. So that was really cool to see. Day 2 ended with worship from a gentleman named, I hope I pronounced his name correctly, Laron A. Martin, and he is the faculty director for Martin Luther King Jr. Research in Stanford University. And some of the things that he covered, he went over one of Dr. King's speeches, sermons that he gave, and we learned that temptation always comes with what you desire most. We learned that Jesus' dominating desire is to get his message to humankind and get the idea of repent and reborn in the kingdom of God. We also learned that we can't survive on bread alone, which in other words means material goods, but we also need the bread of life, which is the food that we need to feed our spiritual side. Day 3, again, hymn sing. First seminar was What You Do Matters. And this was an opportunity for schools like Goshen College, EMU, Bluffton, Heston College, and they talked about how they serve their community. There's also service adventure, in case students would like to take a year gap after high school. If you want to know more info about their organization, check out MennoniteMission.net to get more info about service adventure. And then day 4, there was actually no hymn sing, which I was kind of sad. But Our first seminar was about churches making a difference in the Middle East, which I think is important. They let us feel good about ourselves by letting us know that even if we can't physically be there to help out in some sort of way, even purchasing from like MCC fundraisers or shopping at the thrift stores, that helps out a lot. They have the SALT program, which is serving and learning together, and that just provides an opportunity to work alongside local organizations and build relationships with the new community. You can learn more about them at mcc.org. And the second seminar we went to was Necessary Conversations, Let's Talk About Money. Rudy's a huge on wanting to know more about finances, so we thought that was a good kind of gateway into getting that conversation going. And the main thing they pointed out was we learned that personal finance is more personal than it is finance. We learned we don't have necessary conversations about money. Some of those conversations can be about our trends, what we would do to change those trends, kind of learning what our priorities are, and most importantly, what is keeping us from having those conversations with our family. We discussed next steps, and then later on that day, we had our last worship that we attended to, who was by a gentleman named Frank. He's from Guatemala. He was dealing with the fires in California earlier that year, or this year, and then now he's dealing with the political immigration laws that are in place that were affecting a lot of his members from his congregation. So, he really challenged us to look into what it means to follow Jesus during these times, to know what it means to follow Jesus today. In other words, asking ourselves that question every single day, not just in the long term, but every single day, waking up and saying, how do we follow Jesus today? He found family in his church in Pasadena Mennonite Church, which I can personally relate to because my family and I have found our family here at North Goshen Mennonite Church. He let us know that there is a cost to follow Jesus and that it's okay to be afraid of that cost. For some, that cost can mean the cost of their life, and that's just the reality that he let us know that is there. And he finished it off with letting us know that you can't follow Jesus alone. It takes community, it takes your church family to do so. I do want to say a special thanks to Asia. So a round of applause to Asia. She really joined us last minute. Long story short, after Daisy and I went to spring break, we thought it might be a little difficult with a 5 and 2-year-old. So I reached out to Asia, and it ended up working out that her schedule was available to assist with us this week. Her schedule before and after was really busy, so I was hopeful that she was available, and I'm thankful that she was able to share her experiences, her leadership with the rest of the MYF, and also for staying awake with them when I couldn't. I told Asia, I feel 35 this time around at convention. The 3 questions that Becky posed our MYF members is, 1, if you could bring one part of Mennonite 25 back to our church, what would it be and why? The second one is, tell us about a moment that made you laugh or a weird, funny, memorable experience you'll never forget. Hopefully none of those are about me. And what's one thing that challenged or stretched you during Mennonite, and how did you respond? So I'll let them share their feedback. We can start with Jordan since he's got a mic. Is your microphone on?
Hello?
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, the 3 questions. Yeah. You can read the question and then your answer.
If I could bring one part of Mennonite 25 back, what would it be and why? It's how can we help represent our church in the community. We can do that by giving charities or anything that is good, that is for a good cause, and wear our shirts so people know it's North Goshen Mennonite Church that is contributing to the event. A moment that made me laugh or memorable experience, I'll never forget that Mennonite 25 was hanging out with friends. One challenge during MenoCon 25 is when the speaker from Friday night shared that he was from Guatemala and was scared to leave the country because of ICE. I can somewhat relate because I share the same fears from my family and friends.
If I could bring one part back from Mennonite 25, it would be that everyone got along and it was easy to talk to new people and join in on new games with people we didn't know. And a moment that made me laugh was one of the, a memorable moment experience was one of the speakers that said, when someone really wants something, they will try doing everything they can to have it, but they will always take the shortcuts without thinking of the consequences. And one challenge during MenoCon 25 is the seminar Churches Making a Difference in the Middle East talked about conflicts in Gaza. I learned that even though it can be difficult to help, support MCC thrift shops or other fundraising events are still providing support to the cause in Gaza.
If I could bring back one part of MenoCon 25, I would bring back the fun, interesting lessons and sermons. A moment that made me laugh and was a memorable experience that I'll never forget were the late nights where we'd stay up talking and laughing with people in our room, even though we knew we had to wake up super early the next morning. One challenge during MenoCon 25 was that it could be a little overwhelming at times because there was like 3,000 people there and everyone had their own different ideas. And I responded by listening to the speakers with all their different perspectives and being friendly to others around me.
If there's something I could bring back from MenoCon is that I actually took some advice from a seminar. I forgot which one it was. It talked about taking advantage of our opportunities to help other people in need. One of the examples was that I think it was a college from Bluffton. They were talking about like they took opportunities in painting other people's houses for to help people out. A moment that made me laugh or memorable experience was that this one is about Alan. It was when I heard him snore very loudly. It sounded like someone was dying or something. So, one challenge during MenoCon is that I mean, I'm not very used to it, but a bunch of random people came up to me and I had many conversations with people that I didn't know, which I mean it was good, but it was one of the challenging parts because I wasn't just so used to it. So yeah.
Okay, before the dramatic reading for scripture, the very last thing that happened at convention yesterday is that, and these guys were already on the road, so they missed out on the free socks with the Follow Jesus logo on it. And so what the worship folks did is they had these great big rubber band things, like we're launching them out into the crowd. So we grabbed enough so I'm going to do it in the way that this was done. So you get, and so we picked up some extra so that
So I'll end with saying a couple things here. One, thank you everybody in our congregation for your support to the MYF. Secondly, I will listen to my wife's advice and maybe leave the day before and leave the day after. So we're not starting to drive at 3 a.m. But my biggest takeaway from Mennonite Convention is, one, I don't think I have the energy to keep up with teenagers anymore like I thought I did. And two was that they really push us to think about how we can serve our community. And so for me, for the next year or 2 years until the next convention is how can I do that? How can I be of service? I grew up, I'll say I grew up in the Mennonite church. I went to Mennonite church from middle school all the way through college. Then I had a little bit of a break, I guess you could say, while I was trying to find my next home. But I did that a lot throughout my youth, just trying to find ways to be of service, how I could help out the community. And so that's something that I really want to dive into this year, these next couple years. I don't consider working with the youth as part of a service because really it's like I'm hanging out with younger friends. So I enjoyed all my time with them. I hope they did as well. I hope Asia did as well. And we will start with our dramatic reading.
The fruit we bear, a reading of Galatians 5:13-26.
Brothers, sisters, siblings in Christ, you are called to be free, but freedom isn't a license to serve only yourselves. Let your freedom lead to love.
We live in a world that often encourages us to disconnect, each person caught in our own small orbit. We glance past real lives and real faces with our backs turned to each other, our eyes averted. We move, but not with one another.
The heart of law is this: love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you turn on one another, gossip, exclude, or compete, you will tear down the very community you will need to survive.
What happens when our sense of community is stripped away? We may try to speak only to get ignored. We reach out only to get pushed away. We judge one another, preventing us from making human connection.
Instead, let the Spirit guide you. The Spirit leads not to selfish ambition or empty pride, but to connection, healing, and peace.
Where there was once irritation and avoidance, the Spirit brings gentle attention. A reaching hand is met with recognition. Faces lift, eyes meet, even small gestures become holy. A nod, a shared silence, a willingness to begin again.
The way of the Spirit is rich with the fruit.
Love that makes room.
Joy that rises even in sorrow.
Peace that steadies a storm.
Patience that we extend to ourselves and one another.
Kindness that expects nothing in return.
Goodness that stands with courage and integrity.
Faithfulness that endures even in doubt.
Gentleness that heals when it is broken.
Self-control that chooses peace over pride.
Think of these not as rules to obey, but signs that the Spirit is alive in us.
No law stands against these things. They are gifts of grace, not rules to follow. Those who belong to Christ let go of the ego's demand. We release domination, envy, and the need to win.
We begin to move together, not in perfection, but in harmony. Where there was once distance, now there is community. Those who were in conflict now mirror grace to one another. We begin to walk not alone, not ahead, not behind, but with one another in strong solidarity.
We live by the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit, not with arrogance, not to prove ourselves better, but to honor the sacred in one another.
I don't know how great it is to follow the youth, but I will give it a try. Some of you wonder why I disappear for months at a time, so I'm going to tell you one of the things that I've been doing. Mennonite Disaster Service. In December, I went to training
I intended to be an MDS office manager. I learned about the organization and the structure of MDS. MDS's vision is to be the hands and feet of Jesus to those affected by disasters. And disasters can be fire, flood, hurricanes, or tornadoes. Fits our theme. MDS's mission reads, we respond to disasters, rebuild homes, and restore hope by organizing and empowering volunteers in the US and Canada. I learned that there are 4 pillars that must be in place before an MDS site opens. Volunteers, you gotta have people to do the work. Accommodations, gotta have a place to stay. Work that's meaningful, and of course, funding. A way to pay for it all. Lots of work and planning happens before someone like me even comes on the scene. After my week of training in Pennsylvania, I flew directly to Port Charlotte, Florida, to job shadow the office manager at that site. One day, I got to do meaningful work. It was the home of a hoarder, so the work was to clean it out before anything could be repaired. And then I waited. I waited for my assignment to be an MDS site as a real office manager. Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play. And then the call came. Selma, Alabama needed an office manager from mid-April to mid-May. Selma had just been in the news because it had been 60 years since Bloody Sunday, March 7th, 1965. On that day, civil rights marchers came across the Edmund Pettus Bridge and were brutally attacked. I thought, history, and I've never been to Alabama. I'm in, I'll do it. This was coming into Selma. I just crossed the famous bridge. I was now in Selma, Alabama. That beautiful bridge was only a couple blocks from where we stayed. Why was MDS in Selma? The disaster was a tornado that happened January 12th, 2023. It ripped through Selma, causing much damage, but amazingly, no Selma residents died in that tornado. Selma has a poverty rate of 80%, and rebuilding for many was just not possible. 2 years after the storm, when we were there, we still saw piles of ruins, twisted metal buildings, holes in roofs, and abandoned houses. And many houses where families still lived needed repairs to be safe, secure, and sanitary. There was no shortage of meaningful work in Selma. An Amish group repaired the lifelong home of one special Selmian, Doris Hale. Doris Hale, that's how she says her name. Her story gives you a good picture of the wonderful, gracious, resilient people of Selma, Alabama.
My name is Doris Hale, and I'm standing right here in front of my new, not just house, but my new home. I haven't been happy in a long time, but I'm happy today. I'm happy to see these beautiful, wonderful people that brought so much joy to my heart and my soul and my spirit, baby. I feel like I have a home now, not just a house, it's a home.
I'm Dwayne Yoder from Ohio, Holmes County area.
My name is Cindy Yoder. We're at Selma, Alabama.
We're doing roofing down here, replacing old roofs. Some of them are in pretty bad shape. They don't seem to be coming back quite as quick as some other areas after the storm. There's a lot of need here.
It came down the railroad track, the wind and stuff, and I was in the house. It was just real scary. And that's when I knew, baby, my stuff was gone. And Mr. Gid, he's wonderful. He's wonderful.
What really is a highlight to me, when you talk to somebody and they're down and they lost everything, after you're helping them come back, you just see the spirit rising and the faces light up as progress has been made. It just means a lot to me to see that. So
when you lose something, you really don't know where to go, because everybody you go to, they don't want to be bothered, or they're too busy for you. It ain't nothing like feeling alone. And the only somebody you have on your side, babe, is the Lord. That's all I have to say, the Lord, because he's been with me from the beginning to this end. This is unbelievable.
I would say definitely go one time and see how you like it.
If you have skills that can help, even if you don't have skills, just go for it.
It's a really good experience. You want to be a good example for those down here, and it makes you want to try harder at home.
when we're leaving next week, we'll have 4 new homes built. And then we have about 45 that were re-roofs, some of them fairly major and some not as major.
I just feel good this morning because everything is looking up for me, babe. The Lord give me a place to lay my head again. People take it for granted every day because they have somewhere to go. You can't do that because you never know when you're going to lose everything you got. You never know. So while you up, pray to the Lord and he'll keep you up. Yes, ma'am.
Wait for it. What's not in the video is her reply when asked what's the thing she's planning to do when she moves in. She said, I'm going to kneel down on the step and pray. And then I'm going to fix a bacon cheeseburger, curly fries, and a double glass of cherry Kool-Aid. MDS claims 3 core values. The first is faith in action. We believe in and practice a life of service and proclamation founded on the Bible and modeled after the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. But as I learned in training, MDS is not a church. We do not proselytize. We do not try to convert anyone. We simply act in love. They will know we are Christians by our love, by our love. We leave our differences at the door for the sake of the mission. Remember the mission? Respond to disasters, rebuild homes, and restore hope. Another MDS core value is working together. We intentionally work with one another inside MDS and with partner organizations. In Selma, we were hosted by the United Methodist Church, an impressive Southern church with a very generous congregation and a very white congregation. The MDS leadership, including the project director, construction supervisor, office manager, cook, and assistant cook, lived in the parsonage, an unused big house. This was my room. Notice the temporary walls that were built by MDS so that we could each have a room. The walls do not go all the way to the high ceiling, which means that I know who snores. We were fortunate in Selma to have year-long volunteers: Lucinda, Mary Joyce, Mike, Katie, Jonathan, and Adam. Amazing young people with construction skills who were the patient crew leaders at the work sites each day. Lucinda and Mary Joyce even stepped in to be the cooks for the last week. This group could do it all. This was the volunteer group my first week. This was the volunteer group my second week. This was my workstation where I played office manager. The office manager is responsible for the project's financial accounting, communications, and hospitality needs. That means I kept track of job cards and volunteer hours, tracked debit cards, paid bills, invoiced funders, and completed financial ledgers. I wrote a weekly summary story for the web, answered emails, and shuttled people to and from the airport. Hospitality meant I helped volunteers know where they should sleep and shower. I managed keys and the very important job of keeping the toilet paper stocked and the trash emptied. The last but not least, MDS core value, caring relationships. We engage all disaster survivors, volunteers, and partners with mutual respect, humility, and accountability. This is where the magic happens. Well, it's not magic. It's the love of community and the love within community. It's the striving to be like Jesus. So many stories I have from Selma, so many connections, like the weekly volunteer who knows my Uncle Jim because she was a child in the boarding school where he worked in India. Like the cook from Bern, Indiana, who I met in Selma and discovered she was the teacher of Mike, who succeeded me as technology director at West Noble Schools. Like the cook from Central Illinois that had done a memorial bike ride in honor of my cousin who died too young. I didn't know these people before. And then I met this beautiful woman, Michelle White Eagle, from the Nez Perce Reservation in Idaho. She came to be project director for the last 2 weeks. She was inspiring and committed and faithful. I have a quick story about the historic Tabernacle Baptist Church. We went there on Michelle's first Sunday in Selma. This was a black church with a band and a choir. Now, that's what I expected in Selma, Alabama. The service was fun. And as she did with most people, Michelle made fast friends with the pastor. And later in the week, he toured the houses that MDS was working on. On our last Sunday in Selma, Michelle spoke at the church, the very one where Martin Luther King Jr. once spoke. Something I learned about this historic church, it was built with 2 identical front doors, one on Main Street and one on the side street. This was because at that time, you guessed it, Black people could not walk through any door on Main Street. Pastor Grayson, who was another Baptist pastor, and his wife joined us for dinner one night, and Michelle spoke to the Rotary Club, even making the paper. It was a good thing that Michelle was so charismatic and energetic, because this crazy bunch of students from a little college in Goshen, Indiana, arrived in Selma. I think this next video tells the story best. And you'll recognize another beautiful woman in it, and she's sitting right there.
I'm Jaden Harris. I'm here with Goshen College. We have a class called Environmental Disaster and Response. What that entails is you going off to different cultures, experiencing them, but then also providing a service back towards the community.
So we are in Selma, Alabama, and in January of 2023, we had a massive tornado come through this community. So our work here is to repair homes.
So MDS is an amazing partner with Goshen College in crafting this course. I think it's incredible that MDS has been flexible enough to allow our students to volunteer and do work days, and then also take some time to do class.
Over the course of the week, I've learned a variety of skills and techniques that are used for home restoration, rebuilding, and just building in general.
I'm a music major and theater minor. The skill that I've brought the most from that is being able to collaborate with others patiently and carefully.
My crew leaders have been very receptive and always able to answer my many questions.
So I really appreciated how patient they've been and being able to help us with everything, because again, it's all of a new experience for all of us.
I'm getting a lot of work done, but I feel like I'm getting a lot of experience in as well, you know?
just getting the background from Selma and the history behind it has just opened my eyes to look deeper into other pivotal communities in the civil rights movement. And I think it's really important to bring those stories back. Our tour guide, her name is Barbara Barge, and she was so inspiring and urged us over and over to take her story back and tell it to other people and inspire them in the same way that she inspired us. There's a painting of a Black man holding a dog tag that said hope on it with a key attached to it. And she looked at us and she asked us first, she said, "What do you think that means?" And we all kind of stared at it. Key to a door? No. And she said, "You are the key." And she looked right at me. "You are the key to hope. And it's time for us to step out of the way so that you young folks can come in and keep it going."
It's this amazing mixture of just showing up and working really hard and then also stepping back and kind of processing and drawing these big picture connections. And that's where the learning happens.
We're having this new experience. People from all over can come to help rebuild and restore not just the home, but the community and the meaning behind the tornado and how that affects people, not just physically, but emotionally.
It's just been so enlightening to see how welcoming the community has been to us being here.
It's a great way to build experience with being part of a group, a team, a community, be able to employ a hopeful and loving approach to disaster.
It's really empowering to see all these different people come together with one common goal.
Asia, I don't want to embarrass you, but you basically starred in that video. You also seem to be in the most pictures that I took. I had so many pictures of the GC group, I had to decide how to narrow it down, so I decided I'll just go with the pictures that Asia is in. So here's Asia doing a puzzle. Here's Asia leading devotions. Here's Asia leading a song. Here's Asia attracting more singers. Here's Asia leaving for work site one morning. Here's Asia taking a lunch break. Here's Asia taking a snack break. Here's Asia, I don't know what you're doing. Here's Asia playing the piano. Here's Asia being Selma hit by Jacob the tornado. Here's Asia raiding the kitchen. Here's Asia at the tabernacle. Here's Asia visiting Doris Hale. Here's Asia giving the project director advice. And here's Asia exhausting after supervising the taking down of walls. Did Asia do any repair work? Use power tools, swing a hammer, wear a hard hat, hang drywall, replace a window, paint some trim? Oh yeah. Although, was that staged for the video? And here's Asia really happy that the bed is made. I think she did it. This bed was for the new build house, a completely new 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for a family who needed it. We had a home dedication, which was quite an event, with local leaders and funders and news coverage. This little girl recited an entire psalm for the crowd. I forget which one. She also stared at Asia, who's playing the guitar there, through the entire song that the group sang. and she became Asia's special friend after the ceremony. The family was thrilled to be home. And then it was time to say our goodbyes to MDS Selma. The year-longs headed off to a respite week. The leaders expressed their mutual admiration, and the Goshen College group prepared for their trip home. Goodbye, Selma. It was great.
I saw a tree by the riverside one day as I walked along, straight as an arrow and pointing to the sky, and growing tall and strong. How do you grow so tall and strong? I said to the riverside tree. This is a song that my tree friend sang to me. I've got roots growing down to the water. I've got leaves growing up to the sunshine. And the fruit that I bear is a sign of the life in me. I am shade from the hot summer sundown. I am nest for the birds of the heavens. I'm becoming what the Lord of trees has meant me to be, a strong young tree. I saw a tree in the winter time when snow lay on the ground, straight as an arrow and pointing to the sky, and winter blew all around. How do you stay so tall and strong? I said to the wintertime tree. This is a song that my tree friend sang to me. I've got roots growing down to the water. I've got leaves growing up to the sunshine. And the fruit that I bear is a sign of the life in me. I am shade from the hot summer sundown. I am nest for the birds of the heaven. I'm becoming what the Lord of trees has meant me to be, a strong young tree. I saw a tree in the city streets where buildings block the sun. Green and lovely I could see, it gave joy to everyone. How do you grow in the city streets? I said to the downtown tree. This is a song that my tree friend sang to me. I've got roots growing down to the water. I've got leaves growing up to the sunshine. And the fruit that I bear is a sign of the life in me. I am shade from the hot summer sundown. I am nest for the birds of the heavens. I am becoming what the Lord of trees has meant me to be, a strong young tree.
Now is the time in our service for sharing those things in your life that you want to bring to this community, whether it is something good that is happening in your life or something that is too heavy for you to carry alone. I have two announcements. While the musicians are coming forward, I love saying that, I want to leave you with this blessing. Go now, bearing fruit you may not yet see. Go in love, go in joy, and go in peace.
My Jesus, my Savior, Lord, there is none like you. All of my days, I want to praise the wonders of your mighty love. My comfort, my shelter, tower of refuge and strength, let every breath, all that I am, never cease to worship you. Shout to the Lord, all the earth, let us sing. Power and majesty, praise to the King. Mountains bow down and the seas will roar at the sound of your name. I sing for joy at the work of your hands. Forever I'll love you, forever I'll stand. Nothing compares to the promise I have in you. Mi Cristo, mi Rey, nada es como tú. Toda mi vida quiero exaltar la alegría tuyo amor. Consuelo, refugio, poder, fuerza, poder, todo mi ser, lo que yo soy, nunca se de adorar. Canta al Señor toda la creación, honra, poder, majestad serán. Montes serán en amor en brillar el sonor de su nombre. Canta con Dios, hombre, exalta su poder. Por siempre te amaré bien. Incomparables promesas me das, Señor. Go in peace.